The super bonus messed up the accounts. It's not just that I agree even more. However, maybe it is time to stop this mechanism and to look forward from here on. I want to give you an example. We cannot simultaneously have the highest energy cost in Europe and monopolists. Terna is in distribution. Hydroelectric concessions earn 7 billion more than what the comparable makes in Germany and France. So you have all this. If we do not address it correctly, it will become social. It will become a serious social problem.
Se noi non lo affrontiamo adesso diventerà sociale, diventerà un grave problema sociale. Credo che nella sua interrogazione ci sia.
I believe that in your inquiry, there is a point of agreement from which to start, which is clearly the situation we find ourselves in, the fact that there is a particularly complex international economic framework, and that the geopolitical tensions we continue to experience will have an impact on, and are already impacting growth, energy costs, the competitiveness of businesses, the purchasing power of families, and clearly, at a time that is not easy, there should be less room for controversy. We are moving to diversify the technologies, to reduce a dependency that is becoming increasingly dangerous. And then, of course, there are many other issues that can be the subject, which are the subject of a possible discussion with the opposition. I particularly mentioned the energy issue in the little time I have, because I must acknowledge Azione, your party, and you, for having tried during difficult times on some major areas. I recall there was one of the latest cases where, at the start of the conflict in Iran, we were even told that we wanted to organize some sort of show. So there is no intention on my part to organize shows. If the positions of the opposition forces were today different, my doors would still be open. They are, in any case, open to anyone willing to prioritize national interest over party interest, because I believe the phase requires it, and therefore, I thank you for this proposal.
I remember at the beginning of the legislature, and today it seems like a faded copy. It seems subdued because in politics, certain actions happen. You lost the constitutional referendum and did not resign. You were seduced and dumped by Trump. You realize you have a government not up to the challenges and a majority incapable of respecting the opposition's criticisms. And so it's clear, dear President, that you are different from 4 years ago. The point is that, facing the Strait of Hormuz, your political proposal is the electoral law, because the quality of the people around you, President, is not up to the geopolitical challenge. I could provide countless examples, but they are already on record, from economic development to foreign affairs. Mr. President, the only glimmer of hope for this government was when you appointed a gynecologist to the Court of Auditors.
In short, the national economic system seems to be experiencing stagnation, weak growth, and an industrial crisis that also affects strategic sectors. According to data, Italy is among the last in Europe for youth employment, therefore also an anomalous case on the continent. And studies show that our country cannot even offer minimally decent conditions to recent graduates. Among them, those employed are less than 60%.
This whole picture, Mr. President, the issue of energy, in our opinion, is central. I believe that in the current geopolitical framework, the wars pursued by Trump have the objective of managing energy because innovation, artificial intelligence, big data. The data centers require a lot of energy, and whoever controls the energy also controls the technological development of countries.
Premier Meloni, you had promised in this chamber, when you started with this government experience, a stronger Italy. You are leaving us with a poorer country, as shown by the data, more fragile and unfortunately dramatically more divided. And it is more divided because of the responsibilities that your parliamentary majority assumed when it decided not to address the problems of Italians, but instead focused on impossible reforms that have failed.
Italy ranked 20th out of 20 countries in terms of growth within the Eurozone in the 10 preceding years. During those 10 years, the Democratic Party governed 9 out of 10 times, not alone, 4 of the last 5 years, and in the last 4 years the Five-Star Movement also governed. Well, in these 3 years, the growth of the Italian domestic product has ranked 12th among the 20 countries in the Eurozone. We would like to be third, second, first. However, when you start from the 20th position, reaching the 12th is significant. And we know that next year you, President Meloni, and the entire government will continue to work together with the parliamentary majority to further improve the situation of our nation and all Italians. And for this, we thank you and the entire government.